Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is a pleasure to be before you today. I'm going to complete part two of What is a Real Man. I was inspired to put it together after talking to a young lady who expressed her concerns about how men behave. I must admit that when I was growing up and young, I didn't even consider, what's a real man. I just did what I want to do. It brought me some pleasure. And sometimes the end result was pain. So growing up, I basically did things based on emotions. But as I got older, I decided to listen to females who share their feelings, share their what they're going through. So I decided to just recognize, hold on a second, that I too was one that lacked understanding until I was taught. First, I had to listen. First, I had to admit I had issues. If you had not listened to the last part one, I recommend you do so. And by doing so, you will get a good understanding where I'm coming from. It's certain, I believe, that you will learn something from it. First, you must admit that you have a problem. You must admit that you have an issue. So what is a real man on part two? I looked through my notes. A real man is genuine, don't pretend, self-confident in the thing that he does and says. He pays his child support. He pays his dues. He leads by example. He shows his friends and family members on about how he should behave. He's confident. He's not persuaded by his homeboys to do this or that for the sake of being a part of the homeboy society, if you want to call it that. He teaches young men how to behave, how to treat women, how to respect women, but first he must respect himself. But he cannot help anyone who do not want help. He knows about himself. He knows he can look in the mirror and recognize that he can be a role model. He must first clean up his act. He walks on the outside. You ever see a man walking down the street and he walking on the inside instead of the outside? On the outside, he's there to protect her in case a vehicle comes, he can push out of the way, or he's there to protect her. He listens, not only to listen, to hope she shut up or be quiet, and then he can just respond according to what he think, feel, want, and believe. He listens to her response. He listens to her complaints. He doesn't shout profanity or cuss words. He sit down. He opened the door for her. When she goes out first. If you imagine he goes to dinner and she says, I'm going to the restroom, he step up, pull a chair out, she goes to the restroom, she come back, he stands up, pull a chair out, he sit, and she sit. And I can hear people say, I'm not doing all that, too much time, too much whatever. I'm not, that's a white man thing. No, it's not a white people thing. It's respect and learn and have manners. And baby, what do you want to order? She looks at the menu and she said, baby, I like to have the chicken or the lobster or whatever. So the waitress come and, so are you ready? He said, yes, my boo, my wife, or whomever, would like to have such and such, and I would like to have so-and-so. And, oh, baby, do you want a dessert? She said, not right now, I'll let you know. So you're having a communication. Then he walks to the mall, and then the waitress come back, and they serve them, they enjoy the meal, they have a conversation. And that's part of being a man. I always had to think a real man, or that person, is that real? Are you for real? Are you doing this for me for real? Because they're used to people pretending. So I was thinking about this. I say to myself, one minute, say, well, Anthony, you talking about a real man. You talking about a lot of stuff on, in the past, and you still singing, you're not married, and you got divorced. I say that's true. But a lot of things I did not know back in the day. Am I blaming or I'm giving excuses? No. I just went by my emotions, how I felt. When you and I look in the mirror, we should be able to say, well, you know what? I do lack this. I do need to work on this issue in my life. No one can control me other than me. I must respect myself first. I must learn to, do things, hold on a second. I must learn to do the right thing and not be deceived in thinking that, hold on, thinking that I know everything. There's nothing wrong asking people for help. The biggest problem that we have that we're afraid to ask people help. We're afraid to say, can you do this for me? Or whatever the situation may be, we don't want to ask for help. And that's wrong not to ask for help. Because sometimes when we do things on our own, we make the mistakes. We must trust in other people. So I learned from females, I learned from women that will say, I think you need to do this, I think you need to do that. It's best that we communicate in the right manner, and then things can work out according. Hold on, I don't want to be turn the speak off. I don't hear myself talk. So we must learn. And I was thinking, I said that he prays over the food. He prays before they have a conversation. He prays before they go to sleep at night. It's not about him, it's about her. Sometimes a man must say, well, the wife come to him and say, would you like to go to a play? No, that's not even me, you just go ahead. But yet when he asks her to go somewhere, she don't have the opportunity to say, no, you go by yourself. He gonna say, no, you my wife, you gotta go with me, you gotta respect me. People want to see you and I together. It should not be one-sided. A husband and wife should do things that really they would like, but they're doing it because they love their husband and they love their wife. They're sharing things. It's not about what I call anyone can have sex, anyone can eat food, anyone can go to the bathroom, anyone can have a job. That I call existing. We must recognize that we have a purpose in our lives. Are we existing or just surviving? You have to decide. The question you have to ask yourself, are you existing? Are you surviving? There's a difference. You have to make a decision. Are you tired of existing or surviving? You must make the change. So a man and this woman must learn how to be a woman. Nobody wants to date a woman who act like a man or behave like a man. Women say, what are you talking about? When they have that mannerism, well, I don't need you for nothing, and I don't even need you for that, because I get it from my father, I got a good job. You don't even finish school, I can have my own place. You don't even have your own place. You live at your home, and you don't have a head to sleep on unless you and I hook up and you spend the night with me. And men should not be in a position to find a woman because they don't have any place to stay, so they lie and steal and cheat and pretend that they like the woman, and they get themselves to move into the woman's house because they don't have a place to stay. And if you think about it, a lot of women probably in a relationship right now because the guy deceived them, told them something that they made them feel good, and they allowed their man to move in the house, and now they can't get rid of them because, common law marriage or been together for so long, and it's going to cause a lot of volatile issues. So sometimes the woman just tolerate it, the man tolerate it, and they may have a sweetie on the side just to pick up the slack because the woman or the husband not doing what they need to do. And that too is wrong. A real man does not go out and say, well, okay, my wife is not putting out like I want to. She doesn't want to do this and that, so I'm going to get it from somebody else. A real man know his division, know how to divide between friends and relationship. He should not go out with single women even when he's married. He should not meet a single woman when he's in a private or to her apartment. He should not meet a single woman when he's married in a location with just both of them. Vice versa to the women. You married, there's certain rules you must follow. Yes, you're going to have friends. She have friends, you have friends. She talks to her friends, but she know her limits. He have his friends, he knows his limits. He know what he's going to say, what he's going to do, and what he should and should not do, and vice versa. I just think about the things when I was growing up, and I can admit, I like to use myself as an example. So by me using myself as an example, someone says, oh, you talking about me because I shared that story with you. If I truly was in love with all the women I have dated or so-called dated or had sexual relationship with, and I told them I love them, and they say I love them. The first woman I married, and I say I love her, and she said she loved me, and then now we're divorced. Where did we both go wrong? We did something we did something that caused a divorce. We didn't do something to keep the marriage together. So if you think about any relationship, how many partners have you been with before you got married? And even if you're married right now, are you happy? Are you secure in your relationship? Are you, don't look for your husband to fill all the gap where you lack, because you're going to be disappointed. There's nothing wrong with having men. There's nothing wrong with having men friends that you can hang out with, but make sure you know your limits. You don't want to hang with a bunch of single men, because you're going to be tempted, and you're going to be seduced, and you're going to be touched by that spirit out there that's going to make them, she look good kind of thing. So men need to know their place in any relationship with a single woman, a married couple, on the job, or whatever case may be. It's more to the man than what he says. A man does not wear his pants below his waist. I went to the mall yesterday, and there's a young gentleman, black male, had a white female on his arm, and that's his choice. She was holding his little right arm, walking, going out the door, and he was using his left hand to hold up his pants. And his pants was below his rear end, and he didn't have much of a shirt on. So you can imagine what the front looked like, but he was holding it, and there was no belt, and he was walking left, right, going out of the mall. Is that a behavior of a real man? And I've seen women look at men that have their trousers drop below their rear end, but do they? No, I don't expect for them to say anything to that man. A real man, just forget about the real man. A man would not walk through the mall or go out in public with his trousers below his waist. He would not. I talked to a friend the other day. She was telling me they are actually seeing young people, men in Jacksonville, Florida, walking around with dresses on, not transvestite, not one who want to be a woman and going through the stage of the operation. No, young people wearing dress down the street. You all may laugh and say that's impossible, but we know history has proven that to us. Movie stars take roles where they dress in dresses, and movie stars and singers and rappers and stuff bring into that trend of with the saggy pants kind of stuff, and they start doing it. I was in a particular school one day, and the teacher asked the kid, do you know what saggy pants? He said, I think it came from prison, but really I don't know. And he didn't, those two men that he was talking, the young man he was talking, they had their pants up. And I was there in the midst of doing so. He said, well, Milton, tell them what you shared with me. And I gave him the history about the saggy pants, where back in the day, imagine we have cookouts in America in your backyard. Imagine if you had a cookout in your backyard and there was a tree stump there, and you call this big black male slave owner, a slave that was giving you a hard time, and you want to break him, so you bring him up and make him stand on top of this tree stump, and you make him drop his trousers, and you know what happened next. And then they made him walk around through the camp with their pants, with no pants on. Their pants were below their waist, which was a term would call that person has been bucked. So when these young, so he said, wow, he said, I'm gonna use that term when I see my friend. If he said, man, you've been bucking, someone buck you or something. So he didn't know. So a lot of people, they kind of know, they don't want to know, don't want to accept it, but it's the fact, it's the truth. And then they get mad. People, even older men in their 40s and 50s and 60s, dressing like they're still young. And then the young people that go out for a job and they come to a job interview sagging, they're not going to get hired. I've gone in restaurants and see people serving the food in the back have their pants sagging, and the driving have their pants sagging. You know, what is it with this sagging thing? Is cool? Is this cool? Is you representing? Or you just belong? Real men don't have to look for some fad to determine and make them something. You know, what's going to be the next fad? You're going to start wearing no pants at all and just walk through the public square with your underwears on, and now they're selling matching underwear that match all of the outfit and clothing of, that you may put on that particular day. A real man, or a man that think with his mind and not with his emotion, and not with a real I'm gonna just say a man that knows himself would not follow the fact. He would take the earrings out, because in the old days and even in today's now, even some parts in Africa, if you have earrings in your ear, it means that you are somebody's slave. And if you have earrings in your ear in some parts of the country, that means you practice both sex. So learn the thing, learn history. I'm not telling you anything that you cannot find on the internet, but some people don't say that's not me. Okay, if it's not you and somebody walk up to you thinking that you are that person because you with your pants down, you earrings in your ear, you sending a message like, hey, I got my left earring in, I got my right ear, I go whatever, and then you get in trouble. We as individuals, special men, need to set an example. While a young man, a father, should not be walking down the street with his pants below his waist, what role model is he set an example for his daughter or even his son? It's not a part of tradition. We need to respect. It will be nice to see young black males pull their pants up and respect themselves. Women say, I'm respecting myself. How are you respecting yourself when you're walking through a local mall when I can see the crock of your rear end, and sometimes your private is showing under the underwear, and you walking through the mall and you drawing attention and you think it's cool, and then if no one's not going to walk up to you and say anything to you, but maybe those who close to you should. Maybe your homies. Sometimes the homeboys are walking with other individuals that dress in that way. So real men are a man that know himself, would not stoop to a low level to disrespect himself and disrespect the woman that he's walking with, or even if he's not walking with that woman. We men need to begin to set examples for the young people that's coming behind us, because when they look at us as older than them, oh wow, that look cool. Then they start doing it, and then they pretend to be whatever when they're home with their parents, and then leave school and go to school and wear their trousers below their waist. And if it's a mother is single, this child is wearing his pants out of the door, she needs to know, you need to pull your pants up. You're not going to disrespect me, and you're not going to disrespect yourself. I did not raise you this way, but now children are becoming the parent, and the parent has become the adult. You may not like it, but it's true. We as a race of people, we always want to say black on white, white did this, white did that, but we as a black race of people need to begin to look at self in the mirror and say, do I have a problem with my attitude, how I communicate, how I dress? What is my issue? Evaluate your self-assessment. Work on your strength, work on your weakness. Look beyond your physical appearance. Don't let things define who you are. Don't let people define who you are. Remember that you are somebody. You have a purpose. Who are you? Who do you want to be? What are your goals? So all that encompassed on, I want to be a man that's representing humanity in the right moral order, and I want to set an example, be a role model for my friends and my family members. And I hope that, some people can get, I already know for the fact that the things I have shared over the months and years, they tend to offend people because they say you shouldn't be saying that because you are you are speaking down on our race. How I'm speaking down, I wish when I was growing up, I think I remember Martin Luther King before he was assassinated. I used to listen to his speeches and stuff. So now we say those people speak for us, but if we don't have someone saying right is right and wrong is wrong, pull up your pants, begin to be, respect this woman, treat her respect yourself, have a communication. If you think about it, if we really put ourselves into a relationship without sex before marriage, following the communication skills, working on communication skills, getting to know that person. So when she asks you what is her favorite color, you know it instantly. You have a relationship, you communicate, you learning to communicate with that person, and it didn't involve a sexual relationship before you was married. That's just it. So sometimes we need to go back. Now, I'm not implicating a divorce. I'm just simply saying we got ourselves in a lot of trouble through lack of knowledge, pride, stubbornness, not wanting to accept and admit that we're wrong. And your pretty face, your sexy body can only go so far, because when you get older, you're going to get fat and you're going to get, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know, barumpus or whatever the case may be. Then what you going to do next? And then I'd say it in a particular message. I say, this young lady told me, so I should say something. One of my messages say, young lady need to tell these men to pull it up. And then I had a thought. I say, these young women need to pull it down, not pull their underwear down. They need to pull their dresses down, because they're walking down the street and they have to constantly pull that dress down. That become a car wash rag. And if I have this thing about a quarter test, if I throw a quarter on the ground and you can't pick that quarter up normally without showing the rim below your underwear, you need to trash it. These things need to say to young people, even older adults, male and female. And no one is exempted from whatever, but we tend to blame each other. We want to follow cool. We want to identify with other groups of people. We want to be part of a group, and therefore we lose respect for ourselves. If you heard yourself in this topic, I recommend that you do a self-assessment, a self-evaluation. Write down the good and the bad. And if you are married or in the process of going to be married, or you're already dating, then look at yourself, men, and say, where am I going wrong? What have I done wrong? What do I need to work on, this and that in my relationship? It's not about sex, 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 sex. Baby, you was good, say my name, all this kind of stuff. No, it's about communication is the key. Communication is key, because you can only have sex for 1 second, 2 seconds, it's over with, you know. And then a real man who has an argument with his spouse or girlfriend does not look to have sex in the middle of the night or when they go to bed and the argument has not been resolved. The woman may submit to the sexual pleasure because she wanted, or she don't want to offend or hurt his feeling, but it didn't solve the problem. Sex should not be used because he wants to release himself or get the energy, whatever he uses. Sex should not be used as a tool when the argument has not been resolved, and women should not use sex as say, well, I don't have my way, you're not getting anything like that. And I probably will touch on what is a real woman, or is, how a woman should behave. So a man, like I said in this video, the things I have shared over the years, I had learned from my own personal experience by listening, accepting what people have shared with me, agreeing what they say was right. Sometimes I resist it, but then when I really listened to it, it made sense. So we must, men, if you like what you heard, and if you like what you heard, thanks for Miss Reeves for coming on. If you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. I do all of my YouTube videos so far, I think it's 138 something. All of them I have did live. But what I want to begin to start doing is record my videos beforehand and upload maybe once a week, so I can do a nice intro and make it more professional. So I intend to do that. And then I'm gonna use Facebook to say, oh, I got a video on my YouTube channel. You can click people who follow me and like what I say. They can go there and watch my video. So I want to make my YouTube channel more not user-friendly, more attractive when I do messages. So I want to have a nice intro, and then it kicks right into the message that I'm recording, not live. And that's what I'll be working on. But I will use Facebook. I may do a live Facebook once in a while, but mostly I'll just do YouTube and then throw it up on Facebook and let you see it, and you have a choice to watch it. So if you like what you heard, share with your friends and your husband, and he can share with other people. I may be saying things that you say, gee, I wish he hear this. And you give him, say, hey, baby, I want you to listen to this. I learned something about myself. I want you to learn it because it's going to help our relationship. When any woman comes to a man and say, I want to improve our relationship, the man should listen, so long the woman is not taking control of the relationship. I want to improve our relationship. He should listen and say, you got a very valid point. I have not been doing this and that. And the man should say, you're right. I need to work on this behavior. I need to work on this attitude. I need to work on it. So when I walk through the front door, I should say, hey, baby, how you doing? How was your day? She used to say, baby, you know what? This such and such. Not, hey, I'm home, like that, or just walk in and go to bed and whatever. And the woman should do, it should be. Whenever you walk into someone's house, men or women or children, you should always say good morning or good evening or good afternoon. Just don't walk in because it's your house. You got to give respect. So we have to learn these things. We have to learn how to make, relationships. So he doesn't feel, he just walk right by me like I'm not even there. Didn't even ask how my day was or, what I learned or what happened. Just walk in. And then sometimes they want to say what happened to them. And then when you say what you want to say, women or men, they can care less. The dinner ready? Oh, now, can I help you? Do you need any help in the kitchen? Or blah, blah, blah. Have a working relationship with each other. And then I thought about this, when a man walked through the mall with his wife or girlfriend, you don't really want to hold her hand or cling on to her because why? He may have the mindset that if I walk with this woman and she's my wife or she's my girlfriend, that stops. Say if you walking through the mall with his wife or girlfriend and you holding hands, and then he go to the mall one day and he's by himself and he meets a girl. She said, hey, I saw you holding that. Oh, that was my sister. That was my niece. Because it limits his ability to possibly cheat. It limits his ability to possibly talk to another woman and vice versa. So you don't hardly see that many men walking through the mall holding. So that's not me. I wasn't raised that way, that kind of stuff. And could it be because they don't want to hold your hand, women, or vice versa, because they may be cheating or thinking about cheating, and that woman may come through the mall or that man may come through the mall and say, hey, wait a minute, who you with? I thought you were single. You didn't tell me you were dating. You told me you and him broke up. So they can pretend, oh, that was my sister or yada, yada kind of stuff. So when men and women need to be keen to these little telltale secrets, maybe nothing to it, but I feel, so I was thinking, I close by saying this. I wish I had learned all this stuff when I was growing up, when I was young. And it remind me, yeah, I've been in so many relationships where I tell a woman I love them, care for them, to be honest with them to an extent, sexual pleasure. But if I really loved them and care for them and had intention of marrying them, I would have been married and still married to them to this day. And that was not the case. So I'm doing this to help other brothers and sisters or anyone of any race to understand, even though you got her and she's married to you, you still got to do things not to keep her. You still got to do things to enhance the marriage. Hey, I got something for you, baby. Whoop out some roses. Well, I got you some candy because you know her favorite candy. You're not going to come to the house with some kind of candy she don't like because you have engaged in the conversation. You know her like a book. So you know what she like. You know what color of shoes, the bag she like, the clothes. So when you go out, you say, oh, I'm going to surprise her with, a Louis Vuitton bag or something like that. You know she like these little things. You may not be rich or wealthy, but it's the little things that she may say, wow, he thought about me. He brought in a cake for no special reason. It's not my birthday. Don't look at when a man start doing nice things for you, women. If he's been doing it since you met him, that's fine. And if he's doing it out of this blue, don't say, I wonder if he's cheating on, he got guilty conscience or he's trying to make up for, whipping himself, because you don't know. Don't, women, and don't think that he did something. Just simply ask. If he said no and you believe him or don't believe him, let it go because the truth will come out. So I think we should have if like Lord will for me to have a woman or wife again, we should have an ongoing relationship in the house together, not be in the house together and we living like brothers and sisters or family members. Be in the house together as a husband and a wife, working on each other, working to form a relationship so you don't look another way for someone else. It should be a work. It should not be where you in another part of the house, she's in another part of the house, she's in this, he's this, and you have no relation. You really don't come together unless, for sex. It shouldn't. I did these things. I'm speaking about me. If it touches you, then you doing that's you too. I have done these things, and I wish I have learned when I was growing up, I wish I had the resources, because when I was growing up, we did not have the internet. Some people don't believe that, but internet and all of the devices that we have today, young people, we did not have when I was growing up. So relationship now is social media. You go to the dinner table, they texting, looking at the phone. No family time, no communication. You know, you go out to dinner, people texting, the wife or the girlfriend texting, they texting, hey, you like your food? Yeah. And they start texting. You want some water? Yeah. And they start texting. Phone ring, yeah, baby, yeah, be talking. They be on the phone talking, and they're in a public place. Manners, manners, manners. Respect oneself. Show manners for yourself. Show manners for the person that you're with. And I feel if you listen to part 1 and part 2, and you are married, or you think about getting married, or you've been through relationships like myself, begin to listen to them and say, wow, I did do that. If I had done this, then I would have been in this situation. Learn to respect yourself. And if all that I said adds up to a real man, you can add your own what it takes to be a real man. So I thank everyone. If you like what you heard, just simply share with other people, allow them to hear what you have heard. Don't ask the question and say, oh, they don't want to hear what I got to say. Then you give yourself the answer, and then you meet them or talk to them, and you mad at them because, why you mad at me? Nothing. You're mad at me because you asked the question. Women are good for that. They ask the question to themselves. They give themselves the answer, and then they respond like the person gave them the answer. No, that is wrong. You must go be willing to say, I remember you can have a special spot. Baby, this is our special spot. When we have issues, we're going to go out on the porch. We can go in the garage. We're going to sit in the car. We're going to sit or if you go out in public, the chance of you arguing and raise your voice is very, baby, I think we need to go to Starbucks. I think we need to go to a coffee shop because we need to talk about something. Oh, come on. No, I don't do that. A man and a woman, when they're married, should not put restrictions to the point where you can't have a regular conversation without feeling that you're going to be attacked, without feeling that she or he going to point out something that's a problem, because all marriages are not perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. A lot of us, speaking of myself, we get ourselves into trouble through lack of knowledge and not willing to die to self. So young men, begin to make an example. Be a role model. Set a role model for self and then stick to it. Don't say I love you, but your actions does not support it. When you say or do something, let it be from the heart that you really mean it. He or she may not even accept it in the way you wanted her to accept it. It's not about what she does or he does, it's how you respond to what he or she does. So take your eyes off of self and begin to say, you know what? I like what I heard. I'm going to share this because somebody need to hear this. I like what I heard because it just helped me. I like what I heard because it gave me the answer to what I've been doing, and it's wrong. I like what I heard because this person is speaking up, telling the truth, saying what needs to be said in the days and age that where people are so afraid to offend people, not to offend, but speak their mind. Because when you speak your mind and you tell the truth, then to some, they don't like you. So it's my prayer and hope that you got something out of this. And if I had to repeat it over, sometimes you have to repeat it over so it to sink in, and it might have to be discussed in another manner. So I thank you for visiting. If you want to comment, you can, and I will comment. Have a question, and I will comment on it. I'll give you a minute or two. And I'll say, thinking about what's going to be the next message. I got a couple ideas, what I want to say. So I got a couple ideas I want to say. Something that I never thought about, but I need to address. Totally different from a man and woman. I tell you what it is, young people, they say, I'm 18. So this can be the next preview. I might do it, might not even do it live. It said, I'm 18. And why are you 18? Oh, I'm 18 because I can do what I want to do and make the right decision. Some of them make the right decision, but a lot of decisions that the young people do make be based on emotions. They change their mind with a drop of a hat based on emotion. They commit to things because they're 18. and they get in trouble. They get pregnant, stress out, think about suicide, think about harming themselves. They move away from home, attend college, and they, get mixed up in the mind because they don't have that support, or they don't know where to go, or they don't want to go because they're afraid to. I think I need to address that kind of topic. So thank you, everyone.